Hi guys, welcome to the third and final part of the PGR2 game night from the 21st of August, and we pick up where we left off in the Extreme Series. So we've got a couple of races in this class before we move on to the final class, which is Ultimate, and I believe we do about 4 or 5 races in that to finish things off. But starting towards the back of the pack, lots of different cars being used actually in this. XJ220 for our F50s, for our F40, was a Porsche GT2 as well. But not a good start for me, already down to 7th place. And this track is very difficult to do, especially in these cars, in these quick cars. But a little crash in the middle of the road there. And up to 5th place, could have gone a bit further, but Yerrick also crashed into him. That corner's very difficult to do, I find as well. But we're in the F40 again. Coming down the main straight now, closing in on Yerrick. I'm just getting a feel for this track because it is very complicated and very bouncy, this track, and very difficult in some of these cars. Petras was there in the XJ220, and now all 4 of us leading the race here are quite close together. Could have gone through there again. Bit of collisions going on ahead though. So down this horrible bouncy section, downhill, we've got to brake early for this corner and try and go around here, which do smoothly. Sack is drifting around a bit again, can't quite get round here. We come around the final corner for the first lap, and I don't know what happened here. I just completely misjudged that. I think I might have hit the edge of Yerrick's car there and pinged slightly to the left. But that was not not nice to see. But down to still in 4th place, but lost touch with 3rd place for the moment. Petras was just behind in 5th. Again, this is one of the most bouncy tracks I think there is, really. You're constantly having to counter steer and lift off the throttle, and the F40 is not exactly the most easy car to drive. It probably wasn't even the best choice for this, to be honest. There again, just bounced off the different change in surface height and just losing control there. Someone's spun out. That's Rune actually in the F50. I think he must have hit that barrier on the left hand side, which is quite easy to do. Coming around there full speed, but having to back off here just to try and get around this corner, trying to find a way around Yerrick. Another thing about this track, it is actually quite hard to overtake on. Legitimate overtake, anyway. Because you're constantly having to adjust what you do, depending on the person driving in front of you, what they're doing. And again, just clipped off the wall there. I believe that is Sakis that's in 1st place, who was in the F40 this time. Again, doing that bit just about okay. Still cannot find a way past Yerrick, though. Making sure to get this part right this time. Don't want a repeat of the first lap. So Sakis looks like he's gone across the line there. Then Yerrick and myself. And I believe Rune should be still behind. He is about 3 seconds behind. And I do a terrible thing there. My turn to crash into one of the alcove barrier things where the curb is. So on the final lap now, and another crash. This has probably been my worst race of the game night so far. I think it probably is. From memory of what's to come, this was my worst race. Very difficult track though, at least doing that bit fairly okay until I hit the wall. And going quite wide there, but managing to recover slightly. Back onto the straight. Lost touch with Yerrick quite a bit now. Sakis is still in the lead. Next time on this track, I may try a different car to see if I do better. I did have a tough time controlling this F40, not going to lie. And that was decent again for the 2nd time in a row. Just hit that inside of that barrier again. But looking at it, it looks like Rune's a bit further back now, and 5th and 6th are quite close together on the mini-map. But Sakis is going around that corner now. And again, hitting the wall there. So we've got podium, not too bad. Yerrick crossing the line there in 2nd place. 3rd place for myself. I believe Rune should have grabbed 4th place there. He did. Petras was in 5th in the XJ220, and Sabre got 6th in the Porsche 911 GT2. So it's a good track, that one. That is very difficult, but enjoyable nonetheless. And up to 7 players for this one. 3 laps of this track, and we are starting in 3rd place again. Last race in the Extreme Series this time. Xbox Elite starting in 1st in the XJ220, and we're side by side on this corner. And decided just to back out there just to get a better line through here. Although Xbox Elite's gone a bit wide there and left me a bit of room, which I use, and I've left him the room for there. Do a nice little undercut back here, or the cut back, and once more again. Very nice, up into 1st place there. And nicely cut back onto the straight there, where the Ferrari F40 shines. Although the XJ220 is very good top end, but this isn't quite long enough, this straight, for it to really come into effect. It's a shame that in the Extreme Series, the Jaguars can't be used on the Nürburgring, because it would really shine on there, I think. But in the series, in the Kudos World Series, when you use it, there's not really any really long straights where it will actually have an advantage. It's got great brakes though, but I just find it just lacks a bit of acceleration. But it's very nice around there, sliding around there. Having much better time on this track because there's no bumps really, so the F40 is a lot happier on this. But across the line, lap number 1 out the way, and Xbox Elite still in 2nd place. It looks like 3rd and 4th very close together. Second, 3rd and 4th are very close together, and 5th and 6th just crossing the line together as well, and 7th just a bit behind that. Not quite the right line through there. This is another difficult track. Lots of strange lines you have to get used to for this one. Like this one's quite important here to get the right the right entrance onto the straight, I was about to say, so you get as much speed as possible. But yeah, I butchered that quite a lot there. But still got a decent lead. Xbox Elite 4 seconds behind, just about 5 seconds. Doing that bit nicely though. And nice and tidy through there. Now, looking at it, I think this was all that happened in this one, so I'll let the race carry on, and I'll join you at the finish. And there we go, round the final corner. And a nice little win there. And we'll have to see who came in second. Rune's actually second in the F50. Saka's a couple seconds behind in the Jag. Xbox Elite very close in the Jag as well. Yerrick in fifth there. And that was the last one for the Extreme. So moving on to the Ultimate Series. And I've just realised I think I've actually picked the track and car combination that is in the Kudos World Series. It might actually be the third to last street race when you do race the CLK GTR, and it is on this track, and there might be 5 or 6 laps on it. So that was a happy coincidence. And Rune's behind, and he's actually got a nice blue Mercedes there. You don't see them very often, or ever in fact. But nicely round this section. This track, the latter half of this track, is so difficult to consistently do. That chicane straight into this like S chicane thing. And then you've got this long sweeping left-hand corner, which you then got to go into this horrible bump where the car gets really unstable, as you can see there. And then around the corner there for a lap. So the first half of the track isn't bad at all, but then it just gets really technical. And pretty mental. And this bit can be slightly hard to do quickly. You've got to get really close to that apex, and then you can fly through there. But we've got a nice little lead already. Luckily, we started quite high up in the grid. And this car's just a beast. Handles really well, accelerates really well. Does power slide a hell of a lot though, so you do have to be a bit careful with it. But nicely through there once again. And this bit just changed down just to get it turning in a bit more. So Rune's 4.6 seconds behind. And I think third and fourth are pretty close together as well. But having used the 911 GT1 for quite a while, and the one I picked the most online, to be honest, this is really good going back to this. I think I do use it in Edinburgh, but that has a similar problem to the F40, where it is a bit power sliding, a bit bouncy. So, yeah, the 911's, I'd say the 911's easier to drive, but this can be quicker depending on what track you're on. But they can go toe for toe. They're pretty good, both of them. And that was about to happen, or bound to happen, should I say. Going to get that chicane wrong at some point. But Rune's now about 6 seconds behind. So again, I think I managed to hold on to the lead for this one. So I'll let this roll and I'll catch you at the finish. So there we go. Nice win in the CLK. Got a bit more used to it as I went on with that race. I think I do stick in this for the remainder of the night, actually. Sakis grabbed the second place, so in the Koenigsegg, 11 seconds behind. Room was in the CLK, he got third. Yerrick in fourth, Xbox Elite in fifth there. And, oh, this is a good race, this one. Washington, D.C., square dancing, 5 laps of this. So we've got Petros and Xbox Elite both in the Koenigsegg. Sakis is in the Enzo, but Rune and Yerrick are in the TVR Speed 12. And this is where an interesting race forms. So, not having a good start there. Already getting pinned to the wall, but, you know, it happens. Let's get on with it. So, in fourth place. And we've got 2 Koenigseggs. No, sorry, 1 Koenigsegg and 2 TVRs. Petros just spinning out slightly. Managing just to get the better of them around there, though. So, third place. 2 TVRs ahead. Can we keep up with them around this track, which is an interesting track? Couple of hairpins in here that are quite hard to do. This is one of them. Which I think that was, yeah, that was one of my worst ones I've done there. I think I do get better at this towards the end. Right, that's the first test lap over. That was much more smooth around there. Right, on to lap number 2. 2 TVRs ahead. Yerrick in second, Rune in first. Xbox Elite's behind in the Koenigsegg in fourth place. Again, very bouncy this bit, but luckily it's on a straight, so it's not so bad. And that was a bit more smooth around there, so right on the tail. Once more around this hairpin, actually nearly overtaking Yerrick there, but actually getting massive oversteer, losing a lot of speed around this part. Yerrick actually hits the wall there, so that enables me to pass through quite nicely, using all the width there. So onto this little straight, and obviously the TVR is going to catch all the way down here, so I've really got to try and just stay away or stay in front. Room 1 second ahead, Yerrick half a second behind. So we're in second place. Nice corner around there. Really carrying the speed through. On lap number 3 now. And that was much better around there, nice and tight to the apex. He's within our sight, just can't quite catch up. Around there, though, that was quite nice. And we're in the slipstream now, so that's game on. 3/10 behind. Around there nicely as well. Yerrick's just dropped off slightly now. I'm just clipping the wall there, just knocking my speed slightly. That TVR is something else in a straight line, though. Another decent corner. I think Rune just hit the wall slightly, so we're back in the slipstream. For lap number 4 out of 5. Back round one of the hairpins. Again, just staying in pretty much the same position behind him here. Both cars skidding all over the place. Went a bit wide on that one, actually, but still right behind. Yerrick still about a second behind, 2 seconds behind, actually, in third. Nearly up the inside of Rune there. Around here, just actually hitting to the back of them there, which we don't want to do. We don't want to slow us down at all. And around the final corner for the start of the last lap. Nicely round there, in the slipstream. Less than a tenth behind Rune. And a bit wide there this time, but still not too bad. And now side by side, but the TVR speed is just pulling away every single time. Yerrick's caught slightly, 1.8 seconds. and that was bad. Up until then, it's been fairly smooth. So half a lap to go. Nice around there, using all the width again. Clipping the wall slightly, but back in the slipstream. 3/10 behind. We've been in the same position the entire race. Right in the slipstream. Really nice corner around there. Nearly side by side coming up this bit. Roon's going to dart ahead with acceleration. And around the last corner, but unfortunately not enough there. But that was a very, very entertaining race. I enjoyed that one a lot. And Roon got first in the end, second place for me, only 2/10 behind. Yerrick was in third, 3 seconds. Then it was Xbox Elite, then Sakis in the Enzo, and then Petras in the Koenigsegg. So that was a good one. And we're back in Edinburgh, unfortunately, the bouncy track. And I am in the CLK. Only 5 of us this time. But again, I think there's a couple Speed 12s, Xbox Elite in the Koenigsegg. And I think, oh no, there's a couple Porsche 911s, sorry, there. GT1s. Roon and Sakis, I believe, are in them. So up to second place. Again, this is a very difficult track to do. Maybe not the best car to pick. Too slidey, but we'll see how we do. Sticking behind Xbox Elite here. Again, quite a hard track to pass on. It's really narrow and not too many places to overtake. And that uphill section is so incredibly easy to spin out on. You've really got to be careful up there. Now around this very technical section. Sakis is there, darting up the inside. And we've got the inside for this corner. So all 3 of us pretty close now. Just can't quite get around the inside of Xbox Elite and crash straight into the barrier. That was terrible. Sakis flies past in the GT1 into second place. And gave him the room there on the outside. And neck and neck now, going across the line. And I have to back out there because that would have been a terrible angle for the corner. And also crashing into the inside. I think I did that on the next lap as well before I learned my lesson on that corner. Sakis and Xbox Elite just ahead still. Xbox Elite goes wide. Sakis goes up into first place. And again, terrible from me there, crashing into the barrier once more. The Xbox Elite spinning out, and unfortunately I was on the receiving end of that one. Once more up this hilly section, which is so hard to do. You can see the cars just bouncing all over the place. And through the technical U section. And he does hit the wall there. That allows us to go into second place. See if we can make any time up back on Sakis. He's 3 seconds ahead at this point. I think 4th and 5th are not too far behind there. So over halfway the race. Lap number 3. Or is that halfway exactly? It might be. And again, on that, I'm trying to follow in the racing line through there, and I can't do it each time. So again, I think I learnt my lesson on the next lap. I go wider and cut back in, and that seems to work for me. And again, this is a really fun track, but very stressful to actually drive on at the same time. So Sakis 3.7 seconds ahead there. And he's crashed up this bumpy section. It takes many lives, that section. And keeping it nice and tidy through there. And I thought I did this quite well, but then the car just like bumps up onto 2 wheels and just goes straight forward. So again, I learned that on the next lap not to do that. But Sakis 2 seconds ahead. Yerrick's actually 1.6 seconds behind now, catching up in the Speed 12. That was decent around there. So 1 lap to go. Not too far behind Sakis. 1 second, in fact. Yerrick 1.6 behind. Go wider this time. Cut back in. Much better this time. It's only taken until the last lap to do that one properly. Overall going much better this lap. Nice and tight to the inside there as well. And we've gained a lot of time back on Sakis here. Went slightly wide there, but nothing too bad. Once more up that section. I very nearly screwed that up, but managed to hold it as well. It's so mental, this part. You just like ping pong round the corners off all the barriers. And I power slid around that corner to stop that other thing happening. And I think Sakis gave me a lifeline there. He actually hit the inside of the barrier. So right behind him for the final corner. Should do fairly well. Sakis goes a bit wide there, and we are neck and neck coming across the finish line. But the gear changes were in my favour, and I actually managed to just nip ahead there by less than a tenth, I think it was. Well, actually, barely anything there. 0.019 ahead of Sakis. That was a very, very entertaining race. Yerrick got third there, a second behind. I did see Rune in fifth and Xbox Elite in fourth as well. So another similar race with one in the TVR, a couple in the 911, myself in the CLK. There's two in the CLK, and Rune's gone for a black one this time, another colour that's not in the game. But again, up against the Speed 12. Seeing what we can do. Hitting the inside of the wall, as per usual. Happens a lot with these fast cars. This track's an interesting one because it is kind of boring looking at the layout, but I don't mind it. It's not horrendous, but you do just keep going backwards and forth over the bridge. It's a bit strange. But Xbox Elite is 0.4 seconds ahead. Yerrick's just behind, 1.4 seconds. But keeping up with the Speed 12. And managing to get just about the inside of Xbox Elite there. So up into first place. And around that part, not too bad at all. Getting much more used to this car, and I really do like driving it. It's really good. It might be my second choice, actually, after the Speed 12, if I was to pick. And Sakis up into second now, and I believe he's in the 911 GT1. So across the line, lap number 2. Sakis 2.1 seconds behind. And around this part quite nicely, not too bad. Certainly doing okay so far. We'll have to see how far Sakis is behind now. And I think, yeah, we're dwindling on numbers a little bit now. I think there's maybe one more race after this, or two. 1 or 2 more to go. I think we do have about 5 people maximum. And crashing to inside of the wall, as per usual. But not too bad at all around there. I think Sakis may be the same distance behind. .8. I think we are pulling away slightly there. I think we may have gained about 0.7 on him there for that lap. But I do believe that is all that happens for this race. I think it stays about the same for it. So once more, I'll let the race roll on, and I'll catch you at the finish. And there we have it. Crossed the line. And I think Sakis was 2 point something seconds, if I remember. Yeah, 2.8. So it did stay literally exactly the same for that lap. But Roon got third in the Mercedes. Yerrick fourth in the 911. I don't think Xbox Elite actually finished that race that time. But this is the final race for the evening. 2 CVR Speed 12s. Myself in the CLK once more, and Sakis in 911. So, this track in Sydney, how are we going to do on this? And Roon goes in there and allows a lot of space round for us to go through. But soon catching up with Sakis actually in the slipstream as well. And Sakis coming through. So, right behind me now. Onto the straight. These two cars, without slipstream, are actually really matched in a straight line. Round here. Okay, Sakis right behind me now. It did look like he just got clipped there by one of the TVRs. And he is there behind. And opting for the inside of the barrier here. And Sakis right behind. 2 TVRs right behind. It's actually really close so far. 2 of them opting for the right-hand side of the barrier. And there's the overtake from Sakis, but managed to get on the inside there. But it did look like a TVR just came out of nowhere and possibly sideswiped him. We'll have to see, looking behind. I know Sakis is still just about in second place. With the TVR chasing him down. And that was okay around there. And that sounded like a collision though. And it looks like Sakis has been demoted all the way down to last place there. From some collision that's happened. This is one of the more high-speed tracks in the game, actually. If you look at the map, there's actually 3 large straight sections. With a couple technical sections thrown in. And you don't see this one too much in the Kudos World Series. Doesn't pop up too much. I'm going for the other side this time. Roon's 2 seconds behind. But we are staying ahead in the CLK. It's doing its job. And I tried the right-hand side of this barrier this time to see if it was any better for me. I don't think I like that quite as much, though. But nice and smooth around there. And we'll have to see how well we're doing. It looks like we're pulling away. Still about 2 seconds. But once more, I think I do manage to stay ahead here, so there's not too much to talk about, so I will see you at the finish line once more. And there we go, guys. The final race done. Managed to pick up another win there, and we'll have to see who finished where in that one. And Vroom was actually in second in TVR, 5 seconds behind. Yerrick very close to him, second behind in the TVR. And Saka's got 4th place in the 911. But that's the end of the game, guys. Hope you enjoyed, as always, and I'll catch you in the next one of these.